Today, I want to share a project that taught me one of the most important leadership lessons of my career. Imagine you just finished delivering a project. The project met its objective, the timeline was achieved, the deliverables were completed, and by every measurable standard, well, hooray, it was a success. But instead of simply closing the project and moving on, you wanted to leave the next project better than this one. So you decided to approach the retrospective differently. Rather than documenting every comment yourself, you gave everyone minutes on the clock and pulled a virtual whiteboard up. The framework was simple: start, stop, and continue. As the timer counted down, team members began placing virtual sticky notes under each category. Once everyone finished, you shifted from collecting feedback to actually facilitating the conversation. Instead of talking the entire time, you invited people to explain the ideals behind their notes. Sometimes you called on two, some three. Other times the discussion became so engaging that people couldn't wait to jump in. The conversation felt a little different. People were engaged, ideas were flowing, everyone was contributing. When the session ended, your stakeholders thanked you for taking a fresh approach to closing a project. They appreciated how collaborative the exercise had been. And one stakeholder even asked you, hey, could you build a similar board for their own team? To you, that was confirmation that the profit had created value, but behind the scenes, your project team had a slightly very different opinion. When you shared the final lessons learned document, the feedback was short. It's too generic. So when you went back and improved it, you added more detail, you refined the language, you organized it differently, you presented another version. Still, it needs more. At first, you started questioning your work. Then you questioned yourself. What confused you the most wasn't the criticism, it was the contradiction. The very people who would benefit from these lessons believed the exercise was valuable. The people closest to you actually just dismissed it. That's when something it actually clicked for me. This really wasn't about the document anymore. Sometimes people whose validation you want the most are the least willing to give it. And if you're not careful, you'll spend more time chasing their approval than serving the people who actually you're trying to help. In that moment, I made a decision. I wasn't going to allow someone else's opinion to become the measure of my worth or my ability to lead. I took what was useful, I learned what I could, and then I moved on to the next project because leadership isn't about convincing everyone you're good enough. Sometimes leadership is having the confidence to keep improving without needing everyone to agree that you're already enough.